Song that you are hearing was written by our master Bhagavan. He describes that this this organization, that is International Vedanta Society, is a place of love. The only language that we speak is love. We don't have any God. Our God is every human being, every living being in this world. And to give our love, to work for humanity is our goal. So this is all about ourselves. This is all about us. That our life is dedicated for the cause of humanity, and our master's life was also dedicated for the cause of humanity. And we have seen this life, a great life where he did not spend one moment for himself. Every moment he used to talk about people of this world, of this civilization, how to make it better, how to reach everybody, to touch everybody's heart. And this is all about Vedanta. So the goal of Vedanta is to reach unity. In India, we have very famous sayings, in Sanskrit. It's from the Vedas. Some of you might have heard that, we say that the whole world is our family. So this concept of oneness, this concept of love, this concept of, accepting everybody as our family. It says that I am bandhur, I am neti, ganana laghu chetasam. When we, consider ourselves, our people whom we like, we always choose somebody that he is my own. I like him, and I don't like him. So this tendency of ours of choosing that I like him and I don't like him, this is done by people who have a very narrow heart, whose mind is narrow, whose consciousness has not developed. They are not developed spiritually, they are not developed mentally. Udara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. But a person who has a huge heart, who has a big heart, who is developed, evolved, he will consider this whole world to be his family. That means everybody in this world belongs to him, and he belongs to everybody. This is the civilization that Bhagavan came to preach. He spent his entire life for this, that the whole world is my family. He did not consider himself as Indian or Hindu or Bengali. He used to consider himself as one among these many. He gave this clarion call. Man is God. There is no other God. Every human being is God. And we are his disciple. International Vedanta Society is founded by him. And the goal of International Vedanta Society is to spread this message of oneness to each and every human heart in this world. So, I'm very happy to see so many people come here, and Prabhama, Anjalima, they're all working so beautifully in Holland. And I hope that this spirit of oneness, this spirit of love will spread all over the world. So, from the morning we have started a subject. We talk about Vedanta. Vedanta means the knowledge of the self. Who are we? What is our real nature? Like we know everything. This is this. But when we talk about ourselves, there is always a confusion. We don't know who we are. If we ask you, who are you? Then somebody will tell their name. Somebody will point towards their body. Somebody will say something else. But these are all impositions. These are all not yours. You are something else, which we have not known. So to know ourselves, to know who we are, is the goal of Vedanta or Upanishads. So this is called knowledge. We know these two words. One is knowledge and the other is ignorance. So knowledge means knowledge of myself, knowledge of who I am. And ignorance means not having that knowledge. Not having that knowledge and having something else, considering me to be something else. That is called ignorance. So our life is between these two, knowledge and ignorance. If you have to have a successful life, you have to know who you are, because that is why you are born. Just think about it. We are born, we grow up, and we work. We run after accomplishing something. We accomplish money, we accomplish, many things, many worldly wealths. But ultimately, we have to leave everything and go. So if that was our mission, if earning worldly, accomplishments was our mission, so we could have taken it with us to our next life. But nobody can do it. That means this was not our goal. This was not our mission. We have some other mission. We all know about Alexander, isn't it? Alexander the Great. Alexander who had conquered the whole world. So when he was coming back from India, he had this malaria, infection. And he was due to die within some days. So when Alexander knew that he is going to die after some days, he called his general. He said, "Do you know that I am going to die?" He said, "Yes, we know that you are going to die. So what will you do after I am dead?" We are going to make a big procession. We are going to decorate your body with gold and jewel and all precious stones and gems. And we are going to take you to a very royal funeral. Alexander said, "Okay, you do this. But keep my hands open. Keep my hands open." So general said, "Why?" But I want to make people know that Alexander the Great, who had conquered the whole world, but when he left this world, his hands were always empty. So when you are going to leave this world, your hands will also be empty. Then why did you come? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Ehi sansare bahudustare, kripaya pare pahi murari. This is this is poetry by Adi Shankaracharya. He says, you come into this world again and again. We don't know. We think that this life is the only life that we have. But it's not like that. In this way, we have lived many lives. And we have died many times, but we don't remember that. Now, because we are here, we think that this is the only life that we have. Now we have just evolved from somewhere. We don't know. And after death, we are going to vanish. But it's not like that. It's a journey which I'm doing for eternity. My soul is undergoing a journey. My soul is going through this life. My soul is going through death. But why? Why my soul is traveling? My soul is traveling because I want to discover myself. I want to know who I am. In this realm of duality, I know who I am. But I want to know myself in this realm of duality, in this realm of uncertainty. When everything is uncertain, when everything is going to die. In this mortal world, I want to know that I am that immortal. And that is why I have come. And this is only possible if I have utmost desire to know the self. If I believe that yes, I can know myself, then only it's possible. So we have started this discussion from the morning. What is knowledge? We were discussing from Bhagavad Gita. Whenever we think about spirituality, we think that we have to attain some states. We have to do a lot of austerity, a lot of meditation, but it's not like that. This highest state, which is called Turiya, or the superconscious state, or Samadhi, this is part of our being, our existence. This is part of who we are. So to attain that highest state, we don't need to do anything. We have to know ourselves. Now, how to know ourselves? There's something called mind. We all know that we have a mind. This mind has many qualities about which we are unaware of. We are only aware of those qualities which we can see. But that is not everything. That's just the tip of the iceberg. This mind has got a huge quality, many qualities, and when we discover these qualities, only by practicing these qualities, owning these qualities, knowing that it's me, practicing them, I can attain this highest state of super consciousness. So we are discussing these qualities in the morning because you are all you're all new now. So we will again, talk about it and we'll approach further. So what it says that amanitvam, adambhatvam, ahimsa, shanti, rajavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, isthaira, atma, vinigraham. So Lord Krishna, while he is talking about this knowledge of the self, whenever we see Upanishads or Vedanta, we see that in the Vedantas, the sages has described this knowledge as the knowledge of the self, which is, beyond everything, which cannot be manifested, which cannot be perceived. Okay? Which cannot be manifested, which cannot be perceived, which cannot be, changed, which is something which is always beyond. You cannot reach it. But here Krishna says that no, it's not like that actually. What it is, you do not know your own potential. You have not known your potential. You know yourself very partially. Not only, it's not that you don't know yourself, but the mind that you have, that mind is also partially visible to you. You are not aware of the total mind. When you can be aware of this total mind, then you will see that this total mind is actually the total self. The mind that we are using all the time, no? Mind means thoughts. These thoughts that we are using all the time, these thoughts are consciousness, but in a different state. Because it is in a different state, we cannot feel that purity in it. We cannot feel the potentiality in it. We cannot feel the divinity in it. But when, by this effect of these qualities, by practicing these qualities, all the impurities within the mind, they cease. And while the impurities of the mind ceases, then we see the mind in totality, and that mind is actually divine. So always that you are using this mind, it is that divinity, but you cannot feel it. You are not aware about it. So it says amanitvam. It's the first quality. What is amanitvam? Not thinking yourself or not considering yourself to be superior than others. Knowing that I am like everybody. Everybody is like me. I am one with everybody. This concept, this perception that everybody is like me, everybody is me. I am not superior to them. Nobody is inferior to me. This is called amanitvam. Then the next quality is adambhatvam. Dambha. Dhamma means pride. Self-pride. I am very proud of myself. What you are proud of? You are proud of your body. This body is not going to stay after some time. So where will your pride go when you die? I have this, I have that. Whatever you have is for some time. It's not for eternity. So this pride should be managed. You should not be proud about that which is impermanent. You should be proud about that which is permanent. You should be proud that I am the self. I am the consciousness. This is the actual pride. This is the actual, vanity. But I have this car, I have that house, I have this much money, I have this beautiful body. These are all temporary things. This will go. One day it will not be there. So don't be proud of these things. Don't be proud of your matter, all the matters. Don't be proud of your body or anything that you possess. Don't be proud of that, because this is not going to stay forever. Adambha, not being proud of any matter or the body. Then ahimsa. Ahimsa means not hurting others. Even if you get hurt by others, don't hurt back. So now, how not to hurt back? We hurt people by our karma, by our actions. So it says, never do anything so that people are hurt. Then we hurt people by our speech. You say something by which people get hurt. Don't say anything by which people get hurt. And never think about never think about hurting somebody. If I cannot say something, if I cannot do something, at least I think about hurting others, no? And I think that nobody is going to know. Let me think about it. But Lord Krishna says, never think of hurting others. Be very honest, very true to yourself. Because this truth is the truth which is going to take you towards the highest truth. Ahimsa. Then Shanti. Shanti means to forgive. So when we forgive people, what we do is we make ourselves a little bit, superior to others. Okay, I'm forgiving you. Forgiveness is not like that. Forgiveness means when you accept others' imperfections. That is called forgiveness. When you accept others' imperfection, when you accept others' mistake as yours, if somebody has done anything wrong, so when you accept it that, okay, it's not your fault, it's actually my fault. So that is called, forgiveness. Many times I've seen, we cannot work together, we cannot work together. There's always the friction. There's always tussle. So in those cases, what I tell people is, take 2 steps back. Whenever you are angry with somebody, whenever there is an argument, whenever you don't, whenever you don't agree to others, what we do is we fight with people. Why? Because instantly we start to blame others. This is for him. This is for him. But there is another way. There's another way to go through this indifference or difference. What is that? When there is some friction with anybody, if I can see my own faults without seeing the faults of others, if I just take 2 steps back and see where did I make a mistake, then this is the solution. All the time, our master used to say this, that whenever you see that you cannot work with somebody, you cannot work together, whenever you see that there is always a problem with others, never see others' fault. Always try to see the fault in yourself. It's there within you. Solve it there. Be at peace. Become quiet. Become calm. Don't remain agitated from inside. Because the reason of agitation, the reason of this, turbulence is within you, not in others. We are trying to impose that on others. Because of him this happened. Because of her this happened. But it doesn't happen like that. The cause is within you. Search it. Where is the fault? Where is my fault? Search it and try to eliminate it from your system. Like we delete files from the computer, you also search that virus and delete it from your system. You will see that you will never have any tussle with anybody, because you will see yourself in everybody from that time. You will feel yourself in everybody. Others' happiness will become your happiness. Others' sufferings will become your sufferings. And this is, being human. This is being the best human. Spirituality is not about discovering God. Spirituality is not about discovering divine. Spirituality is about being a true human being. I love my master. We all loved our master. It was not because he had huge spiritual power. It was actually because we saw a very beautiful human being within him. A human being who used to cry for others. A human being who used to think about others. A human being who was never angry with others. Who always had some way to help others. So these are the qualities which attracted us towards him. And this is called Godhood. So, Shanti, always forgive. Always forgive. Accept everybody's, fault as your own. And then you will see that you have started to grow. You'll become a mother. You will feel yourself to be this mother energy, this mother nature energy will start to work within you. It will start to manifest within you. You'll see yourself extended. Then Arjavam. Arjavam means kindness. So kindness means when you feel the pain of others, that is called kindness. Then Acharyo Pashanam. That is, whenever you have to know about spirituality, never depend upon books, never depend upon internet. Go to a master. Go to a master. Sit at his feet and ask him the question, how will I realize the self? Tad buddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshinti jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. It says that, when you want to know something, when you want to know yourself, go to the real master. How will you find a real master? If your search is genuine, if you are true to your search, we say that Swamiji, nowadays we don't find a real master. No, it's not like that. Become a real you. Make the desire of knowing yourself genuine, pure. You will find a genuine master. So when you find him, ask him. Ask him by bowing down before him that I want to know the self. And the master will deliver his knowledge to you. The darkness within your mind will all eliminate, and you will see that your heart has enlightened by the light of your own self. So, Acharyo Pashanam, Shaucham. Shaucham means purity. We have discussed it already. There are two kinds of purity. One is the purity of this body. We wash our body, we take bath, we clean our body. But there is another thing called mind. The mind is not pure. And we don't mind it because we can hide that mind. We can hide it from others. But how will you hide the mind? The impure mind from yourself. You always know that I have an impure mind. And this knowing that I have an impure mind will always stop you from all attainments, from all advancements. You cannot advance because you are your own strength. If you know that I don't have a pure mind, then your advancement is blocked. So how to have a pure mind? To think about God, to chant the name of God, to chant this Om, chant the name of God. Or when a guru gives a mantra, that chanting that mantra makes our mind pure. Shaucham, sthaira. Sthaira means to be very, very firm, still, in every condition, in every circumstances. When you are disturbed, when you are scared, when you are angry, in every situation, try to maintain your calmness of your mind. That is called Stairam. And Atma Binigraham, that is to dedicate your life for the cause of humanity. You can enjoy your life, but don't, make this enjoyment the goal of your life. You cannot enjoy. You will see that you will become very alone, very lonely. Always dedicate your life for others, for God, for humanity. So this is where we had stopped in the morning. So now we are approaching. Whenever we talk about spirituality, we talk about bondage, isn't it? We are bounded. We are binded in this world. We cannot see the reality. We cannot see the truth. Why? Because our eyes are closed. Our eyes are blocked. I don't see the truth. I don't see, freedom. I'm not free. Here in West, we are free, but this freedom is from outside. It's not actually freedom. It is a slavery in a very, very, different way. You're all slaves of the mind. And this has also come to India. Now people are also like that. Free will, we can do anything. We don't consider, we don't have to respect anybody. So this has also gone there. So this is not freedom actually. Freedom means when you have no attachment. When there is no attachment, that is called freedom. You enjoy but without attachment. So, how to have this state where I will live in this world, but I will not be attached? Like you have seen that India considers lotus to be its national flower. Okay, why lotus? Why not any other flower? Rose is more beautiful than lotus. Why don't we, consider rose to be our national flower? Why lotus? Because lotus remains, lotus blossoms in water, but it never touches water. It's always 2 inches above water. It will stay in the water, but it will never touch water. So this is the ideal of life. This is the most ideal life. You will stay in this world. You will stay in this duality. You will stay in this in this ignorance, but you will not touch this ignorance. You will not touch this duality. You will always be free from this. Now, how to do it? We have to practice unattachment. How to practice unattachment? We have to be unattached from this world. What is the world? When we talk about world, we think that this world that we see, after opening our eyes, this panorama, this in front of us, that is the world. Actually, that is not the world. The world is inside. We have 5 senses. Isn't it? We have 5 senses. One is eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. So these 5 senses, they have 5 sense objects. These 5 senses that we have, they have 5 sense objects. With eyes, I can only perceive form. So form is one sense object. Okay? I have ears. With ears, I can perceive sound. So sound is another sense object. With nose, I can perceive smell. So smell is the third sense object. With tongue, I can perceive taste. So taste is the fourth sense object. And with skin, I can perceive touch. So touch is the fifth sense objects. So these 5 senses has 5 sense objects: form, sound, smell, taste, and touch. These 5 objects are actually the world. You see the world, you analyze the world, you will see this world is either form or taste or touch or sound or smell or all of them or maybe 3 of them, in this way. This is the world. So unattachment with the sense objects. Unattachment with whom? Unattachment with the mind. We, these sense objects, these senses, they bring information. They are like portals. They're like gates. The eye is a gate. So from this gate, information comes inside. From the eyes, the information is coming inside that, these are the forms. From ears, information is coming inside that this is the sound, smell, touch, all this. And they're going to the mind. When they go to the mind becomes attached with them, with these 5 senses. And when the mind becomes attached with these 5 senses, this mind creates desire. If you see your mind, this mind means group of thoughts. If you analyze every thought, you will see each and every thought is a desire actually. I want to do this, I want to go here, I want to talk, I want to think. Everything you want, this mind is nothing but desires. A compilation of desires. All the time, these desires are brewing inside you. And you are boiling in the desire all the time. Okay? Why it is happening? Because these objects gets attached to the mind, and the mind then creates desires. And we are spinning with the desire, in this way. We cannot get rid of them. We have stuck, we have got caught in the web of all these desires. We cannot come out. So how to break this web? To break this web of desires, it says you need to practice unattachment with the objects. Now, how to practice unattachment with the objects? You have to observe them. You have to start you have to learn to observe your, these objects. Like I am seeing, I'm seeing so many people. This form is going inside my mind. This form is going inside my mind, and they are creating desires when they are mixing with my mind. What I will do is I will separate my mind from this object, and I will start, observing them. The same with sound, the same with smell, the same with touch, the same with taste. If you start observing these objects, you will see that you have created a distance from them. And the more distance you create from these objects, the more peace, the more conscious you feel yourself. Okay, so that is what Lord Krishna is saying, the next one. What is he saying? That is Indriyartheshu Vairagyam. Vairagyam means unattachment. Indriyartheshu means the object of the senses. Practice unattachment with the object of your senses. How to do it? You have to start observing those objects in the mind. You see, in the mind there are so many desires. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go here. There's so many desires. Just observe your mind from a distance. Think that this mind is a cinema going on inside, and separate yourself from the mind and observe them. You will see slowly all these objects are gone. Believe you, your mind becomes pure, your mind becomes clean, your mind becomes empty. You see, there is no desire at all. There is no desire at all means in the mind there is no thought. You have reached the state of thoughtlessness. When you have reached the state of thoughtlessness, then you create space for the consciousness to flow inside the mind. And when consciousness flows inside the mind, then you recognize that consciousness as yourself. Till that time, you think that you are something else. But when this consciousness comes within this empty space of your mind, when your mind is completely, open to this consciousness, the consciousness flows inside the mind, and then you can recognize that consciousness as yourself. Then you know that you are not this body. You thought that you are this body. Then you know that you are not this body. You reside inside this body, like this house. I stay in the house, but this house is not, this house is my house, but I am not the house. So this is my body, means I live inside the body. There are two things. One is Deha, and the other is Dehi. Deha means body, and the person who lives within the body is called Dehi. We know the body, but we do not know the person who is living inside the body. We say, it's me, it's I. Isn't it? We always indicate ourselves as I. If you are told to search that I, you will not find that I. You will find everything as yours. You will not find that I. That I is always unmanifested. It's not there. You're using this word I all the time. But if somebody tells you, where is that I? Show me that I. You search, you will not find it. There is no I. Everything is yours. My head, my hands, my legs, my body. It's your body. Where is you? My mind, my happiness, my sadness, my intellect, my ego, everything is yours. Where is you? You are not there. You are not there. You are unmanifested. Avyaktoyam. You are always avyakta, that is, you are always unmanifested. That means what is manifested, whatever is manifested is not you. You see everything as manifested. You see things, which you consider to be yourself. These are all manifested. But you are unmanifested. That means whatever is manifested within you, in front of you, is not you. avyaktoyam, achintoyam. Achinta. Achinta means one which cannot be perceived. I perceive this. I have to go to the sun, I have to go to that constellation, I have to go to that constellation, I have to go in the depth of the ocean. We can perceive all this. But there is something which we cannot perceive. What is that? Infinite. We cannot perceive the infinite. This universe is also finite. It has limits. But there is something which is beyond this universe, which is infinite, which cannot be perceived. You are that infinite. You cannot perceive yourself. So how will I know myself if I cannot perceive myself? Because whatever we know today has been perceived in the past. We perceive something and then things happen. I came here in Holland, but this today's meeting was perceived by Brahma like 6 months before, and now it is becoming a reality. If I cannot perceive myself, how will I know myself? How does a person know himself? This is where the secret of spirituality is all about. When you go to the master, when you go to the real master means a person who has not only known himself, but he has known himself in such a way that he can also show you the way. So when you go to a real master, what does it do? He does not teach you. You see, the self is here, the self is there, he does not teach you. What he says is, he talks about his feelings about the self, his realization. The master never tells you what to do. The master tells you that you cannot do anything. The master will tell you this, The master will explain you that, whatever you do will not help you. You have to give up this, you have to give up this tendency of doing always, because whatever you do it with your ego. Your ego is involved. So when ego is involved, you cannot go beyond ego. So you have to give up. You have to give up. So the master shows you the way how to give up this ego, how to give up this mind, how to give up this attachment. How does he say? He only speaks about his realizations, his experiences with the truth. These experiences are so strong, they are so pure, they are so true, they are so bright, that these experiences, when he is talking about these experiences, the knowledge from his heart travels from his heart and enters your heart. Now your heart is full of darkness, ignorance. I don't know. Your heart is full of darkness, covered, blocked. When this knowledge of the master enters your heart, they unblocks those portals. They unblocks those paths by which the consciousness flows. When these paths are unblocked, then the consciousness starts flowing like a river. Jnana Ganga. Ganga is a river, in India, sacred river. So Jnana, that is knowledge, is also considered to be a river. Jnana Ganga. So that Jnana Ganga, knowledge of the river of knowledge, it starts flowing through your heart, into your mind, into your system, into your being. And you feel that I am this self. I am this self. But you cannot do it yourself. You cannot perceive it. You have to come to the master, and the master will, he will implant the seed of knowledge within your heart. Then slowly, this knowledge will flow within you. Okay? So, avyaktoyam, achintoyam, and avikaryoyam uchyate. People who have experienced the self, they have described the self as unchangeable. It cannot be changed. It does not change. It does not change form. It's changeless. Now, what is changeless in this world? Everything is changing. You see outside, things are changing. You see your body is changing every moment. Every moment the cells are changing. Your mind is changing. So we are always in a state of change. So what is that which does not change? It is only the self which does not change. The self. So, you have to search that what is not changing. You have to search that which cannot be thought about. You have to search that which is not manifested. That is the self. And the secret of this knowledge, the process by which I know this, is called spirituality. So it starts with this, unattachment with the objects. When you start to practice this unattachment with the mind, when you create a distance between yourself and the mind, then the space in between you and the objects, through this space, the consciousness flows. And when the consciousness flows, it brings peace within you. It brings happiness within you, joy within you. Some happiness, some peace, which does not have any cause. Today you are happy. Why I am happy? I have a cause. Because this happened, that is why I am happy. So my happiness depends upon a cause. I have never experienced that happiness which is causeless. I am happy because of nothing. I'm just happy. It doesn't have any cause. Okay? I'm peaceful. Today I'm at peace. Why? This has happened. Because this has happened, that is why I am at peace. When that changes, my peace also changes. But I am peaceful. Without any reason. Causeless. Causeless. Ahetuki. Ahetuki means when there is no hetu, when there is no cause of my happiness, when there is no cause of my peace. I start to feel this causeless happiness, causeless peace, causeless calmness, causeless stillness. And then slowly, my perception about myself starts to grow. Then I start to feel, no, I am not this body anymore. I am not the body actually. I am something else. First of all, you have to listen, and at one time, you start to feel it. Oh, yes, it's true. No, I'm not the body. Yes, I can feel it. There's something more than the body, which I have not known before, which was always unmanifested. Now it has started to manifest itself. So you start to feel it. And the more you feel that consciousness within you, the more distance it creates, the more, clean you become, the more pure you become, the more, all these objects present within your mind, they all dissolve, vanish. You become completely empty, like the space outside. Whenever we describe our mind, spiritual mind, how it is described? The spiritual mind is described as Chidakash. What is the difference between a mind of a human being, a normal human being, and the mind of a spiritual being? The mind of a normal human being is packed with desires. Packed. There's no space. And that is why he has so many mental problems. Emotional problems. He becomes angry. He becomes depressed. He becomes sad. Why? Because his mind is packed. There is no space for this pure consciousness to flow. That consciousness, which is the actual medicine. We go to the doctors, we go to these therapists, but they don't help us after some time. Why? Because they can talk about our disease, but they cannot make the consciousness flow within our system. If you are really depressed, if you have any mental problem, you should go to a spiritual master. He will treat you. How will he treat you? He will just show you the way. Empty yourself. You're full. Empty yourself. Bring all this out of your system. Let them go. He will show you the path of letting go. How to let go of everything. Don't hold anything. Because by holding, you are losing actually. I want this, I want this, I want this. Whatever you hold, you lose them. If you really want them, you have to leave it. I don't want. Have you been to any temple where people sing and dance? Have you been there? to this ISKCON temple or any temple, where if you go, you will see people sing and dance. And while they do it, then you will see that while they are dancing, their hands are up like this, So what is this? Hands up. It's like they are surrendering themselves. They're letting everything go. Okay, go. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need anything. I need to be like a space. My mind has to be like a space. Chidakasha. Let my mind be like a space. Empty completely. So the only practice which a spiritual master gives us is this unattachment. Unattachment. There is a book, we will start reading the book, Ashtavakra Gita. You have this book, no?
I have it. It's in the car.
Okay, so from tomorrow. So this Ashtavakra Gita is a dialogue between. Are you all understanding what I'm saying? Any question? Do you have any question? Any doubt? Any question you have? You understand everything? Okay. Is it interesting?
Very interesting.
Thank you. For you all? So Ashtavakra Gita is a book. It's a dialogue. Most of the spiritual books in India is a dialogue. The student comes and he asks questions and the master answers. So here in spirituality, the master always encourages the student to question, ask, because in question there is answer. The answer is within the question. If you don't ask, you cannot ever have that answer. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena. Prashna. Prashna means question. You have to serve the master with question. We want to serve the master, no? We want to serve the master, we want to serve people whom we like, we love. How do you serve the master? Not with money, not with any other thing. You need to serve the master with questions. How can I go beyond this world? What is the way by which I can end this realm of sufferings? I'm suffering. I'm scared. I have fears. I have fears of death. It's always following me. Every moment is going and we are coming closer to death. Do you realize it? Every day is going and every day you are coming close to death. You see people die. And we think that we are not going to die. Is it possible that you are not going to die? One day you also have to die. Always remember that you are going towards a death every day. Then the purpose of your life will be easy to find. Why I am living then? If I have to die. If I have to die in this way, then why I am living? What is the purpose of my living? The purpose of your life is Atmanam Viddhi. You need to know yourself. This is why you have come here. So the disciple goes to the master. Janak, Janak is the disciple. He goes to his master, Ashtavakra. And then he is asking the master. What is asking? Katham Jnanam Abapnoti. How will I know? How will I attain that knowledge? Why knowledge? Because attainment of this ends all suffering. That is why it's called knowledge. Attainment of this ends all fears. Attainment of this ends all boundaries, limitations. Attainment of this unleashes divinity. Divinity within you. You can feel yourself divine, pure. So, that is why it's called knowledge. It takes you beyond darkness. You feel everything bright, light. Okay, so the student is asking, how can I attain knowledge? Katham Jnanam Abapnoti. Then, Katham Muktir Bhavishyati. How does liberation happen? That means I want to attain the state of liberation where there is complete freedom. Freedom from the mind is the actual freedom, Freedom from ignorance is the actual freedom. Freedom from fear is that actual freedom. This freedom is not freedom because you are not free from your fears. You have fears. You have desires. You have desires. You have attachments. You are not free. But freedom means freedom from fear, freedom from death, freedom from mind. So he's asking, how will I attain freedom? Liberation. Then, vairagyam cha kim prapnu metad. So these are the two things which is about my goal. One is knowledge and the other is freedom. This is my goal. After that, there should not be any question. But then there was a third question. What is that? How will I attain unattachment? Why did he ask it? Because with this unattachment, he is going to attain these two goals. This is more important. The means. The means is unattachment. Unattachment from the mind, from the desire, from your ego, from the name, from the form, from all your preoccupations, from all your perceptions, your imaginations. We are all caged in this, We are caged in these perceptions, imaginations. You have to free yourself. And that is why you need to practice unattachment from them. So, here Lord Krishna says that Indriyartheshu vairagyam, this form, taste, smell, touch and taste. This is the actual world. This is where you are bounded. You are binded in form. You are binded in taste. You are binded in touch. You are binded in sound. Somebody is saying something very, very pleasant. Hey, you are very nice. Janima, you are very nice. And, oh, very nice. I feel happy. Hey, Janima is very bad. Swamiji, this man is very bad. So, this sound, when it enters my mind, it creates an effect. Why? Because I get attached to that. When I like it, I become happy. When I don't like it, I become sad. So my happiness and sadness actually depends upon what is coming inside, I don't have any control over my happiness or sadness. So this is called attachment. This is called bondage. Understand? I see somebody whom I like, I become happy. I see somebody whom I don't like at all, in front of me, and I become So my happiness, my sadness, my anger depends upon other person. So this is called bondage. Now, liberation means whatever is there, any form, any taste, any touch, any sound is not going to disturb you forever. Forever. You can be in any condition, but you will never be disturbed. This is called liberation. Okay? So when you are not disturbed with any condition whatsoever, then you attain the state of absolute knowledge. So this is called unattachment. Okay? Asakti indriyartheshu vairagyam. Then it says ana ahankara evacha. Ahankar. Ahankar means aham krita bhava. I am the doer. I do. This is called ego. I am the doer. I have to do this. I am doing. This is the ego. Ahankar means egolessness. You have to practice egolessness. I am not the doer. I am not the listener. I am not the seer. Everything is happening through me. In the morning we discuss this. That I am not the one who is doing anything. Prakritei kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Ahankara bimuratma karta aham iti manyate. Now when you wake up in the morning, you will see, when you wake up in the morning, what are the works that you want to do in the morning? What kind of work do you want to do in the morning? Suppose you woke up in the morning. What do you want to do? What do you feel like doing in the morning?
Eating. Shower.
Means going and just eating stuff. You want to sit down, meditate a little, isn't it? Pray, or spend like a quiet time, no? Eating and this will happen, but you want to be quiet. You want to do those work which can make you, which keeps you quiet, isn't it? Why in the morning you feel this quietness? Why you want to do things which are quiet? Because in the morning, your mind is in the influence of a quality called sattva. Sattva, we have three qualities of our mind. One is sattva, one is rajas, and the other is tamas. So sattva means nirmalatvat. It's nirmal, means it's pure. It's without any stain. There's no impurity at all. Nirmal. Prakashakam. It's light. And anamayam. No suffering. It's peaceful. It's peace. So because my quality in the morning is sattva, okay, so the works that I want to do in the morning is also sattvic, that is works which will help me to calm down, which will help me to be peaceful. Okay, so now slowly the mind gets transformed into this quality, gets transformed from sattva to rajas. Rajas means desires, thirst, desire, hunger. So then, when my mind becomes, transformed into rajas, then I start to have this, I have to go to work, I have to earn money, I have to do this, I have to do that. It starts from like 10 p.m. onwards, my mind is becoming sattvic, the rajasic. Then I spend my day needing something to do, needing something always. Then at the end of the day, my mind again gets transformed into a quality called tamas. So in the night I want to sleep, I want to rest, I want to sleep. So these are the three qualities. So these three qualities, when they come in contact with the nature, they create actions. I don't create action, you don't create action, nobody creates action. The nature and these qualities, they mix together and they create action, and thus these actions are actually executed. But the ego within me thinks that I am doing all these actions. The ego is a fool. I am doing nothing. Because of this ego, I am unnecessarily dragged into this action and I get attached with the actions. And I suffer because of this ego. So anahankara means egolessness. You have to practice this egolessness, that you do everything but always tell yourself that I am not the doer. I am not the doer. It's just happening. I am the medium. I am the instrument. I am the instrument. I am not the executor. Okay? So, indriyateshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. In a life, there is, life and death, happiness, sorrow, old age, disease, all these things are there. In every situation of your life, look at those situations very carefully. Whatever situation you are in, look at them. Don't get influenced by the situation. What we do is, whenever a situation comes, we get completely, influenced by it. And we lose those insight. We lose the insight of to study what is the situation where I am. So it says that in whatever situation you are in your life, try to look at the situation very, very carefully. Look around. Look around. Look within your mind. The quality of thoughts that you have. Look the quality of actions, the karmas that you do. When you observe very carefully each and every situation of your life, you see everywhere there is a fault. There's you have been fooled. Everywhere you have been fooled. You have been showed a different reality. The reality is not what you see. It is an apparent reality. We see the sky as blue. The sky is never blue, but you see the color of the sky as blue, isn't it? This is called apparent reality. Reality, one is reality, and the other is the reality as it is shown to you. So the life that you know is a reality, is an apparent reality. It has been shown to you like this. It's not like this. If you see it very carefully, you will find that it's completely different. Okay? So today we stop here. Let's meditate for some time, and then if anybody has any question, you can ask.